Halloween ends. Spoilers! Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And on today's show, it's going to be a show starting with a lot of H's. Halloween ends. Heather Langenkamp. Haunting of Hill House. Hellraiser Cenobites. The Headless Horseman. But we're going to start off by talking about Halloween, but I want to kind of ease us into the Halloween ends spoiler discussion by talking about this article about Halloween H2O that came up, well, during the week because Jamie Lee Curtis has been out doing a lot of press for, Halloween Ends. And she kind of explained why she was not all that happy with Halloween H2O. Remember that side kind of reboot of, that soft reboot of the Halloween series that did very much what like the new Halloween series did. Just kind of ignoring some of the other ones and just trying to take it back to its roots. But what disappointed her about that one was kind of interesting, that it made her want to end the storyline, but eventually she came back, right? So what made her disappointed about H2O? Because I remember a lot of people like H2O, right? Resurrection opens on Laurie Strode's death. Okay, well, yeah, I remember that. But let's take a look at what some of her quotes here. Because when they were getting ready for Halloween H2O, there was some contract that you couldn't kill him. Apparently, for H2O. You couldn't kill Michael Myers in H2O. So let's take a look at her full quote here. So the last thing I thought I would ever do is another Halloween movie. You may or may not know the reason why I'm in Resurrection. So H2O was conceived really by me. I'm not titled as a producer on it, but it was my brainchild. Really? Cool. Laurie Strode has run from Haddonfield. She feels like she's safe. And of course, what the whole conceit of the movie was, if you're running from your fear, you're dead inside. There's this moment, of course, where he comes back. She has to choose. I'm going to fight him and die, maybe, but I'm kind of dead already. And if I win, then I'm going to be alive. Well, that's sort of similar to what's happened in the new series, right? From the Blumhouse series. Sort of, right? She ran from him and she felt like she was dead inside, and they kind of explore ideas like that too. But it was supposed to end him. So like H2O was supposed to kill him. That's what we talked about, and that's what I signed up for. And when it was all going along great, and then I got the script, and it was a vague ending. Well, yeah, we know how that ended, right? I kept going back to them like, hey, I thought that we were like, this is the ending. This is vague. Anyway, it turned out that in that moment, there was some contract that you couldn't kill him. Yeah, so she was disappointed by that. And Halloween Ends. Guys, we're talking about spoilers today. We're going to be talking about Halloween Ends and, if he killed him or not. I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to tease an audience again. Well, we'll see how this is going to tie up with what I'm going to be talking about here with Halloween Ends. I said I'm not going to do it. Yeah. So, okay, if you're going to do the paramedic ending, yeah, that was that one, right? And it looks like Laurie Strode has ended it. My audience is going to be feeling like it's ended, but you have to pay a lot of money in the next movie, and you have to kill me in the first 10 minutes of that movie. And she was killed in the first 10 minutes. And now because she's killed an innocent man, I can't live with that. So yeah, she wasn't happy with that. And I wasn't happy with that either. I think most Halloween fans out there, it was kind of questionable. It's like, oh, Michael switched his mask. And it was kind of like, ugh. She didn't like it. So she wasn't very happy with the H2O situation. So when she came to this new Blumhouse situation, she was hoping to close out things with Michael Myers, and I do believe that things 100% are closed out now. For her character, for sure. Laurie Strode is done. Her iteration of Laurie Strode is done. And I think this version of Michael Myers is 100% done. Because if you haven't seen Halloween Ends yet, guys, hey, it's in theaters right now. It's on Peacock. You can look at my non-spoiler review that's up on the channel right now. You can see my straight out of the theater reaction, where you get to see, Okay, well, let's just get to the meat of it, guys. Let's get to Halloween Ends and the reviews. Well, I think you'll see out there that Halloween Ends had a polarizing conclusion, and that's putting it lightly. I think most people didn't like it. That's a good shot of Michael there. It's kind of dark. I'm sorry, guys, you can't kind of see it. But he was in a sewer for 4 years doing what? I don't know, for food, or how does he clean himself? Does he shower? How does he stay out of getting a staph infection? That kind of thing. If you start to think about it, it starts to fall apart. And David Gordon Green is the director of this. He did Halloween Kills as well. And it just really felt like, well, what as I said in my non-spoiler reaction is that it felt like it was not a Halloween movie at first. They just shoehorned Michael into the last 20 minutes of this movie. And that's pretty much like, that's what does happen. That's what happens. And it's kind of like, how does this tie in with the rest of the 2 movies that you set up with Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, right? How does this fit in? Like, you should be looking at that as an arc, as a complete series. It has some of the ideas in there. Like, they'll say, you just weren't paying attention enough, James. Well, yes, I was, guys. But it was like 50 minutes in, I was like, what is this movie? This doesn't even feel like a Halloween movie, because we're just following this guy. What's his name here? Corey, right? Or something. We're following this guy. He's a babysitter. And they do an okay thing establishing the tone of the movie with the opening scene. But it's kind of like, we follow this guy and he falls in love. Well, they don't really fall in love. They get interested with each other. They get infatuated with the daughter, Laurie Strode's daughter. And we've seen her in Halloween Kills, right? So it's kind of like the reviews out there have not been kind to it. Guys, my recommendation is this. If you are a fan of the Halloween movies, you'll want to see this one because you want to see how it all ties in together. Do they kill Michael in this one? Yes. Do they kill Laurie Strode in this one? No. You just want to see how this Blumhouse trilogy wraps up. That's what you want to see, right? Now, is it a Michael Myers movie? No, it's not. It's not. It's more of a Corey movie. It's a Corey movie. And if people saw my straight out of the theater reaction, I said it was very much like Friday the 13th Part 5. Halloween 13th Part 5, where it was, a pseudo Michael Myers, right? Pseudo Jason. Why is it doing that, James? You too big. Because I got the zoom on, right? There we go. Sorry. There we go. Zoom. Yeah. I don't know why I got the zoom. I should take that off there. It was meant to do things like, ooh, like that kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, it was like the pseudo Jason. It was like, was a paramedic, right? That was like Jason in that one. And that worked fine for that storyline. But I mean, for a Halloween series that you've been kind of setting up, that Michael Myers is like this almost like supernatural entity. It just didn't work. It didn't work. And there was a point in it, when he first saw Michael in the sewer, and then you don't see him again. It's kind of like, is this all going on in his head? Is Michael Myers really not going to be in this movie? And when we do see him, is it just a figment of this guy's imagination? And is he going to pick up the torch? And then when you start to see him towards the end, when he does take the mask and he does wear the mask, the Michael Myers mask, it's like, okay, this is where we're going. All right. But if you didn't put, if it wasn't part of this trilogy, this movie would probably work by itself just fine. But because you're trying to look for some closure in the storylines for Laurie Strode, it's kind of like, it should be a Strode movie, and it wasn't, right? It wasn't even a Michael Myers movie. It was kind of like a weird David Gordon Green. I don't know what the heck you were thinking, man. Because they had originally planned this. Halloween Ends was supposed to take place right after Halloween Kills, but he paused it in post-production and said, no, I want to have this 4-year time gap. I want to tell this story. I want to tell the story of this guy. And this guy put in an interesting performance. He did. I liked what he was doing, but people are going to rag on him for being like the pseudo Michael Myers, the Michael Myers wannabe. And he was doing some interesting things. It's just that this was not the movie to do that. David Gordon Green. It was not. I don't know how Blumhouse said, yeah, do this, make this movie. Because Jason Blum is smart about this. He usually is. And when he does, he make mistakes, he'll admit it. So I'm expecting, hopefully, somewhere along the lines, Jason Blum will say, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have gone down that route. Because it was a big swing. It was just, the last installment of your trilogy should not be the one where you're trying to reinvent the franchise. That's for either the first one or the second one. That's when you're trying to do that, right? Laurie isn't expecting Michael this time around. Yeah, she is. Yes, she is. She totally is. She's writing a book and stuff. Trailers give away a lot of spoilers. Because most of the trailers that you saw of Michael Myers doing stuff, that's all in the last 20 minutes, guys. So when you go in and expecting that kind of a movie, and it's all about Corey here for the first hour and 10 minutes, people are not going to like that. Especially if you pay 12 bones in the theater to go see it. It's kind of like, this doesn't even, how is this even a Halloween movie? It's like, oh my God. So let's go over and take a look at the tomato meter, and we'll get into some few more spoilers here as we get through this. Okay, as of now, 105 reviews, 45%, 60 by the audience score there. Snapshot reviews, we did some yesterday. We'll take a look to see if there's any more there. Okay, so let's take a look at, let's just pull that out. Let's pull that out and see if there's any other big names there that jump out at me. THN, no. Double Toasted, Corey Coleman, there we go. Let's take a look at what he said. He said it was a bad one, so let's see. I appreciate that the movie is doing something different. Halloween Ends has moments where it shows a lot of promise, but it's ultimately a mess. Yeah, and I would agree with that. The pacing in this is just kind of so weird. It's kind of like, wait a minute, what the heck? You're just showing up there? Wait, what about this? Wait, yeah. It was jarring at times because people were showing up and it's like, okay, so Laurie Strode was just imagining that in his head, right? So like, it's kind of like they jump out, like he's just in the house at one point, then he's out on the street, and it's kind of like, what the heck is going on here? Yeah, it's very jarring, for sure. Let's take a look at some more quotes here from some people in the, Perry Nemiroff, trusted reviewer. I trust her quite a bit. She only gave it a 2 out of 5. Wow. She said, loaded with big swings and compelling ideas, they just don't belong on the path established in the 2018 film. Yeah. Yeah, that's a sentiment that a lot of people agree with. Let's take a look at a positive one, though. Let's take a look at somebody's positive. Fat Guy at the movie says, this will be polarizing for fans, but there are some clever moments to David Gordon Green's final Halloween film. Well, I don't know if clever is the right word I would use to describe it. Let's take a look at, I'm trying to look for some positive ones here. IGN says, Halloween Ends concludes the Myers-Strode rematch trilogy with an ambitious, if somewhat confused, final chapter. And he that was a positive one from Tom there at IGN. Okay. Anybody else who wants to contribute something here who's got a bad one? Somebody, RogerEbert.com says, it's easy to admire its wide swings at doing something different with a trilogy closer, but Green and his team can't figure out how to wed their undeniable ambition to something that's coherent. Yeah. Now, I think I gave this movie a 3 out of 10. It's a movie that I'm not going to revisit. Maybe if it's on TV and I've got nothing else to do in the background, I'll just have it on. But I mean, I'm not going to consciously sit down and watch this movie again. But that's pretty much where we're at, guys. Halloween Ends. It's Peacock release streaming. You could it even dropped there. It dropped. See how I just refreshed it and it dropped 148. So it's down to 39%. The other week I went out and saw Amsterdam, and it got like 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. And people said that that's one of the worst movies they've seen of the year. No. This is by far, it's got to be one of the worst movies. 57 by the audience. Yeah, guys, and I expect that it's going to go down quite a bit. we'll take a look at the box office here in a moment, maybe towards the end of the show, because I don't know, we can take a look at it now. Let's take a look at the box office for what I'm projecting, what this weekend is going to be like. Because let's take a look at last weekend's numbers. Smile was in number one. Lyle Lyle Crocodile Amsterdam. Halloween Ends was the only really big release, but I think the Peacock thing angle may impact that. But also the bad word of mouth is going to peak that, affect that. So look at this. Smile and all these numbers here from last week are probably going to get about chopped in half. So let's say Smile, well, actually, Lyle Lyle Crocodile, I think Lyle Lyle Crocodile and Smile will switch spots there. But how much? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, Halloween Ends will come in number one. Because if Smile makes around 10 million, I think Halloween Ends will make more than that, just based on people's curiosity to see how it ends. But it's gonna have one of the steepest dives I've ever seen on the box office reports, for sure. Because Smile, we'll talk about Smile a little bit later on in the show. It'll close us out because some good results there. Let's get back to the Halloween thing, guys. Halloween, when they killed Michael too. Let's talk about him. He comes back and he just happens to find the house that Laurie Strode is at, and I guess did they establish that they moved houses? No, I guess maybe they didn't, right? So maybe he didn't know how to get back there. Whatever, he just shows up there. They fight. She's like, "Kill me, kill me." You know you want to do it, kind of thing, right? Here in this fight, she's like, "You know you want to kill me," and then she stabs him through the hands and through the legs and knocks the refrigerator on him and pins him down, and they take his body and put him into a metal cruncher, eater up, chewer kind of thing, right? So his body definitely gets destroyed. He's old man. He's an old man Michael in this one. And if you've seen some reviews out there for like the 2018 movie, there's a reviewer who did a piece on it saying he's not scary because he's old man Michael in that movie, right? But they did some ideas in that first one where it's kind of like the doctor wanted to pick up that mantle and continue on exploring how evil can like transfer, or like the whole concept can just infect your mind. And I think that's what they were trying to emulate a little bit with this character. Again, they were trying to go, like people will say, well, they were trying to tie that back in, James. You just weren't paying attention. No, I was paying attention. It's just, why didn't they? That's not where the second movie was pointing us to, right? That's not where Halloween Kills was pointing us to. It was coming down to the showdown that only happens in the last 10 minutes of this movie. So, yeah, it's mostly about these two, Laurie Strode's granddaughter and Corey there. And it's like him slowly becoming a serial killer is kind of an interesting idea as a movie concept. It just didn't feel like a Halloween movie. It was just, it didn't. So I want to know your guys' thoughts about this. I've been rambling on about this for about 20 minutes now. I think I've said my piece. Here's what I think needs to happen from here on in. I think they need to reboot it again. Reboot Halloween. Like the Rob Zombie version, right? They just try to reimagine it. They just have to restart it. They can't carry it on because they closed off Laurie Strode. They closed off Michael Myers in this. There would just be somebody else picking up the mantle, just like in Friday the 13th, Part 5. And I don't expect them to go that route. I don't expect them to do that again. Because, they did it in Friday the 13th, Part 5. They can't do that with Michael Myers, right? They can't do that same kind of trope. Just reinvent it. Tell us a different take. You can give us a different Laurie Strode too, or maybe you don't even have to do the Laurie Strode. Michael Myers. They got to do something. Like, there's going to be more Halloween movies coming down the works. I'm sure, because people like it. People want to see Michael Myers kill people and go on a rampage. Unfortunately, in Halloween Ends, you don't get to see that. You don't get to see Michael Myers go on a rampage. I want to know your guys' thoughts about Halloween and spoilers here. Did it work for you? Didn't? Art Last Viking says, so apparently Michael had only 3 solo kills in the whole movie. The rest of the kills were assists with Corey. Yeah. Yeah. And one of those kills, you don't even know perhaps if he was him or not, because how much was Corey actually hallucinating stuff, right? Yeah, it's just, I don't know what the heck they were doing. Like David Gordon Green, he's going to be taking over this Exorcist franchise now. Dude, no. Reinventing the wheel is not meant for the last installment of the franchise, of your little trilogy, and that's where it went off the paths for me, for sure. Okay, I think that's it. If you guys have anything else that you want to talk about Halloween Ends, bring it up in the live chat. Let me know in the comments below, too. I'll respond to the comments for sure. We can talk about some of the spoilers for Halloween Ends. All right, let's move on. I'm watching The Midnight Club on Netflix right now. I'm 3 episodes in. I'm going to watch episode 4 tomorrow morning. So sometime this weekend, I'm going to... actually, it's still all on my phone. Episode 3, I've recorded episode 3, and they're very quick reviews. I didn't want to put a whole bunch of production value into it. And that... okay. Maybe I should put more. Maybe I should actually sit in front of the camera here and stuff and give you guys decent quality audio. But whatever. It's just the way that I want to get through it, because I've been doing a lot of stuff. But Heather Langenkamp is in The Midnight Club. And it's cool because she plays like the administrator at this hospice where these kids, all go to die from terminal illness. But she also appears in the stories that these kids tell each other, because the Midnight Club is these kids come together at midnight to tell ghost stories. So there's like the story of them at the hospice, and then there's also these stories, these ghost stories they try to use to scare each other. And she appears as a character in them, and the kids also appear as characters in these ghost stories. So it's kind of interesting. And she's in there, and it's kind of cool, talking about going back to some of the reboots and the stuff out there. I guess because of the Halloween stuff, like the way that the Halloween 2018 kind of rebooted stuff, she's come out and said she would like to have a Halloween style sequel. And was that something that you guys would like to see with A Nightmare on Elm Street? Like that kind of a reboot, perhaps, where they ignore some of the installments and we get Heather Langenkamp back for perhaps another final showdown between her and Freddy? Knowing that she's the age that she is now. And how would that work? Well, it worked with Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, so why not? I don't know. The thing is that I think Robert Englund has come out and said that he's pretty much done playing Freddy, right? He doesn't want to come back. But you could reinvent the wheel. See, that's the right time that you would want to reinvent the wheel and bring her in as someone who's experienced with dealing with the situation, perhaps. Let's take a look at her quote here that's up in an article on Screen Rant where she talks about this. She was on Entertainment Tonight and this year's Comic-Con. So she talked about this, and she said, if Nancy could fight Freddy one last time, I would really like that. Gosh, I'd love to see a future in that. I've been really watching the Halloween saga that's been out, and I love watching Jamie Lee Curtis get to play that part. You know, this age where I think we have so much to give to these storylines, but yeah, I wish I was in control of that, but unfortunately, if one of those Hollywood very complicated things, well, yeah, because of the cast, but they've been wanting to try to remake a Nightmare on Elm Street for a while now. They just haven't, like they tried it with Jackie Earle Haley there, was it 2010? But that was like they were really trying to really copy and emulate the first movie. I just think you just need to reinvent Freddy for the current times. Show Freddy like this version a little bit in the movie, but you got to reinvent him in somehow. Like, would you make it? I don't know. I don't want to say CG, but maybe. Well, it just worked for the Cenobites with the work. But you'd have to do something grotesque like that make him very Cenobite-ish, like very grotesque, and go back to that gruesomeness, right? Because you can't go back to that cheesy Freddy making one-liners before he kills somebody kind of thing. You can't do that. Reinvent it, and I think it could work. And I would like to see that. Somebody's got to pen a good script. Maybe it's giving me some ideas. Maybe I'll write a treatment or something. I did write a treatment once for a reboot, but that was a long time ago. So maybe I'll take a look at that later on today. And if I put together a decent treatment, I'll share it with you guys for sure. But yeah, that would be kind of cool to see her back. And I've been enjoying her in the Midnight Club, so pay attention for that later on today, guys. I think I'll have time to edit that, and I'll put out episode 3. What's downstairs there, guys? What's below the basement? I'm curious to find out. Heather Langenkamp, though, that would be interesting to see a new Freddy movie with her in it. That'd be fun for sure. All right, let's take some live comments here. Hourglass Viking says, could Blumhouse have been attempting to create a trilogy anthology feel as the original third film of Season of the Witch with Halloween? No, I don't. Well, no, I don't think they were trying to do that, but it just ended up like that somehow. But yeah, I did feel like it was kind of like an Elseworld Halloween movie, right? Just like the third movie was. Yeah, we'll have to see. A Weaver says, I would love if they could somehow bring Nancy. Yeah, that would be cool for A Nightmare on Elm Street, for sure. Hourglass Viking says, Freddy targeted teenagers, so Heather/Nancy could only work as a mentor to troubled kids. Yeah, that's what I would imagine. She's trying to maybe work in some kind of an outreach program of some kind, perhaps. And then, yeah, I could see how that could work. And then she would have all the tools to fight Freddy. But maybe Freddy could learn a few more tricks along the way, right? A Weaver says, the remake was a pale imitation of the original Nightmare on Elm Street. So awful, they need to move forward. Yeah, because it was trying to just emulate it. It was trying to do almost like scene for scene reboot of it, right? And then they tacked on the whole reasoning for why Freddy was doing what he was doing. And you don't need to do that. He was just a monster. He liked to kill kids, and that's what he did. You don't need to explain it in any way. Yeah, that's the way I feel about that. All right, guys. Yeah, guys, normally we do it at 12 p.m., but I got a lunch thing that I got to run out to in about half an hour or so. But hey, follow me on all the other social medias, because you know all those little shorts that we do? Hey, you can find extended versions of those on TikTok and Instagram. In fact, last night I think we went viral on TikTok for one of my little things. When I say viral, it's something over 100K. And I haven't gone viral yet on YouTube, but I will someday. It's coming. I can feel it. We're going to get over 100K views on something, hopefully soon. Because I've done it on Instagram and TikTok now, so that's kind of cool. And hey, if you like these kinds of shows, guys, here's what you can find us on the Mirror Domains channel. We do House of the Dragon full live watch-alongs on Mondays. It's going to be episode 9 this week, guys, and oh yeah, that's coming along nicely. Star Wars Andor is on Wednesdays, 1:30 p.m. is when all of this stuff goes up online, guys. Full live watch-along, so you can participate in the live chat. Episode 7, yeah. And this is going to change, but this week, She-Hulk wrapped up on Thursday, so we're going to have slots open here for other shows to come along. That was the finale. I talk about mixed receptions. It was okay. And then Rings of Power wrapped up yesterday, and yeah, I dug it, man. I like that finale quite a bit. Galadriel definitely is one of my favorite characters. The Sauron reveal was breathtaking. And of course, you know, we do the Horror Weekly Roundup here on the weekends, where we talk about all the big horror movie news headlines that drop during the week. And that's where we're at, guys. So if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Yeah, you're going to find something that you like here on the channel. We do full live watch-alongs for things like Hellraiser. And that's where we're going next, actually. Yep, my full live reaction for Hellraiser is up on the channel right now, guys. Full movie reaction. But let's, yeah, actually, we'll get to that in two stories here. A lot of H's in the topics today. Okay, so Haunting of Hill House. What's going on here? The creator, well, because we're talking about, we were just talking about Midnight Club, which is Mike Flanagan, and Mike Flanagan also does the Haunting of the Hill House series, like Haunting of Bly Manor and Hill House. So people are thinking, well, when is the third one going to come along, right? When is the third one going to come along? And I'm excited for it. I hope it comes along. Right now, he's got the Midnight Club. He's producing that. He's not directing that one, but he also did like Midnight Mass, and he's also he's working on The Fall of the House of Usher. But this quote here came up, and I'm curious about this. So it shed a little bit of light on what's going to happen with when is his next installment of that Haunting series coming along. It's a rather lengthy quote, but let's take a look. This is the first time that's ever crossed my mind. Our thing with the Haunting is that we always wanted it to be primarily based on a piece of classic horror literature, and ideally something that has been adapted before, that we can do something different with. When we think of The Haunting, we think about authors like Poe and Charles Dickens, contemporaries that are more in the Henry James, Shirley Jackson world. The other criteria with that is that it has to be primarily about ghosts. The question came up with The Fall of the House of Usher because that was based on Poe. It's not a ghost story, and so there's no haunting there. The Midnight Club has always its own thing. What makes the haunting of the haunting, and if and how we could reapproach it, is something we talk about pretty frequently because we've always left the door open. We don't want to do it just to do it. So I'm looking forward to more haunting stuff. So yeah, that's his criteria, right? He wants to be, he wants to have it about ghosts. And as of right now, Midnight Club doesn't seem like it's about ghosts. A little bit, perhaps. I don't know. I'm only 3 episodes in. Because they're on medications and stuff, so you don't know if they're hallucinating. But there are definitely visages there that are ghostly. But that's what Mike Flanagan feels about where the haunting stuff is going. So The Fall of the House of Usher then obviously isn't about ghosts, but it's still going to be in that horror genre. Mike Flanagan, of course, also did like Dr. Sleep. I was hoping that he would try to adapt, that hotel from the Shining movie, like The Overlook. Like, why couldn't he have done something like that? The Haunting of the Overlook kind of thing. But maybe because of the rights issues, perhaps. But he'll find something, and he'll work with his regular brigade of actors that he works with. Raul Coley, I hope will come back. Yeah, you know his wife is going to be in it. She's always good too. She's always good. But that's where the state of the Mike Flanagan Haunting series is. We'll have to see. He'll probably have something, hopefully after The Fall of the House of Usher comes out, which they're still working on. It's going to come out next year. So, yeah, when that comes out, if it's on Netflix, we'll do live watch-alongs. I didn't do live watch-alongs for Midnight Mass, and I should have. Okay, some more live comment says, CG Freddy would work because he often exaggerated his physique to frighten his victims. Yeah, a CG one. Like, I mean, when I was talking about CG, like you could tell like the prosthetics on him, like for the burns, like if they could put like and actually look like it's burning, like or like the still open and wet from being burned. Like if they could achieve that, that would look cool. And if they had to use CG for that, that would be. The VFX could be cleverly used without the need for Robert Englund. Yeah. And hey, you know what? Maybe you could use his voice still. Why not? Why couldn't you use Robert Englund's voice? Just the way like James Earl Jones said that you could use his voice forever for Darth Vader. Why couldn't Robert Englund say that you can use his voice for Freddy from forever? That's what that'd be cool. E. Weaver says yes, she could be their sensei. Talking about Heather Langenkamp. Yeah, for sure. Teach some lucid dreaming skills to those Elm Street kids and make dream warriors for sure. That's where I'd like to go. A. Weaver, good call. All right, let's talk about Hellraiser. Hellraiser and the Cenobites. Okay. There's been a couple things up. this week that I want to talk about, the Cenobites. Why is that up? Okay, I've moved the wrong one over. That's why. The Hellraiser Cenobites. So yeah, there's been a couple articles up because this has been out for a week now, guys. It's been out on Hulu. Hellraiser, the Chatterer, the Gasp, and the Weeper, and they don't have the asphyx in here, but they've got interviews out now up on Bloody Disgusting, and the Gasp is the female one. God, look at that. See, they could do something disgusting like this for Freddy too, right? This is what I'm thinking too. Like make him just like really just, like the makeup in this. This is the who is that guy? That's the Weeper. This one is the Weeper, and they go in there and they talk about like how the different prosthetics were working for them and why did they weep. I am I weeping for myself? Am I weeping for you? Yeah. And actually, I figured that there's more than one weep. Yeah, there was more than one style of weep, right? And when they take the pin out of the eye and put it in that girl's mouth, ooh. Yeah, you can see in the film that I do have two different types of weeps, and both of them mean something completely different. Oh, or the Spider Master in the live chat says, hi there. Hey, man, how's it going? We're just talking about some horror movie news here. We go through all the stories here. We talked about some Halloween and spoilers there to start off the show. But we're talking about the Hellraiser Cenobites. And this is the Weeper. And this is definitely one of the more creepy ones because it really, this is where it showcased that it was parts of the skin that were being used to be like their clothes and stuff. And you see the shot of the back where it's opened up right up to the spinal column. It's just, oof, creepy designs. They didn't show the asphyx here. But they showed Jamie Clayton there. Oh, yeah, because, yeah, there's the asphyx, right? This was the only one that I felt was a little bit questionable when it started running, and it was kind of like doing that kind of like ghoulish kind of thing, that ghoulish kind of run. And that one was a little bit meh. But, yeah. And then it got its head stuck in the gate. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to publish another, because now it's been out for a week, I can publish another spoilerish one. For maybe I'll publish the one where she gets the needle through the neck. I don't know, but Jamie Clayton there did a great job too as the new Hell Priest. And there's a featurettes now out of her like getting into the makeup and stuff like that, and how long it took for her to get into the makeup. It was like 4 hours for her to get into that stuff, and it's kind of like. This is a 46-second video, but it's sped up. But yeah, when she puts that on, and you can see here that it's really reddish, but because of the lighting scheme and stuff in the movie, it looked white, right? But like her whole face like transforms in this stuff, and I hope it gets a nod for makeup. I hope it does, because yeah, it was really effective stuff. Really effective stuff. And if you want to go check that out, guys, it's on the 20th Century Studios YouTube page. It's got 1.1 million views, so people like it. These behind-the-scenes stuff. She was spectacular, and the design is beyond incredible. Congratulations to everyone involved. And imagine if they brought this kind of, like, yeah, that's what Freddy needs to be. That's what I feel. But that was cool. So my full live watch along for Hellraiser is up on the channel right now, guys, and I'll publish another little short of that later on today too. The Spider Master says, I'm working on a new update on my Splatoon horror film. Oh, you're making a Splatoon horror film? Cool. And you know what? We do like lower budget horror movies every now and then on this channel. We do acknowledge them, which we will be talking about here in just a little bit with the Terror Train remake and the Headless Horseman movie. Yeah, well, let's talk about that stuff right now. Let's watch some trailers. Why not? All right. Old Man trailer. Now, this I don't know too much about, but Stephen Lang is in this, so okay. You know, it looks like maybe it's going to be a take on what he was doing with Don't Breathe, that old man, the blind old man, but it looks like he can see in this one. But I guess it's this guy. He lives out in a cabin, I guess, all by himself, and then some stranger comes along asking for directions because he's lost. And then it sounds like this old man Oh, I just knocked myself in the face with my headphones. Unbelievable. This old man, played by Stephen Lang, is going to torture him in a horrific way. All right, let's take a look at this trailer. Let's make sure that I got my audio all set up. And we'll take a look at this trailer for Old Man. Whoops, that's a Headless Horseman. We're taking a look at that one after. Okay, Old Man. Let's take a look.
Show yourself!
I got lost in the woods. I saw smoke coming from the chimney.
How do I know you're not some goddamn psycho killer?
Do I look like a psycho killer to you?
Yes, you do.
See, and this is what I like
What
too
if you
about
come to find out that I'm very dangerous?
smaller films, because you can do something like this with talented actors like Stephen
It
Lang.
must mean that God
You
hates you.
can, yeah, you can get that feeling of dread
Cup of
and
coffee?
being trapped.
My grandfather told me you can never be too careful in these
One
woods.
location,
He told me it's beautiful, but it can
Keep the
also
budget
be
low.
dangerous.
He was right about that.
well, that's a secret.
There's all kind of death and beauty out here.
Yeah, buried in the past.
Who the hell are you?
Who the hell are you?
This is where the story gets real good.
Yeah, Old Man. Stephen Lang. Yeah, it's definitely from like, and especially in like the Don't Breathe movies or whatever. He was good in that. So him playing sort of not like the same role, but I mean, the faces that he makes, he's definitely intimidating, right? And to think that he can make smaller horror movies like this and then go on to be in big franchises like Avatar, that is going to be out later this year too. Cool, Old Man. So let's take a look at, it's going to be October 14th. So it came out yesterday? Okay. On demand and on digital. So it's out now. Old Man's out now. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Stephen Lang deserves an award for this. I love how the double barrel shotgun makes the pump shotgun sound. Did it? Did it make a pump sound? What did he say? LMO. They picked the right guy. They did. So people think that this looks good. I thought this was a prequel to Don't Breathe. Looks good though. Yeah. And there's something going on here with this other, like, they showed some flashes there towards the end where it sounds like maybe this younger guy, is not there by accident. He's actually there because he's involved perhaps with something with his past. So that's what I'm getting from this trailer. But I like this because, as I said, I like small pieces like this where you give the opportunity for two actors to kind of like showcase their talents. Now, I never heard of this other guy, so we'll have to take a look at that. Let me pull up the IMDb here. Pull up the IMDb. Who's this other guy? Old Man. Hour and 37 minutes. Only 5.2 on IMDb. Well, it just dropped yesterday. Lucky McKee directed this. Who is this older guy? Mark Center. Mark Center. But yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, I like that poster too. How it's kind of split his face there. You can see the cabin there. That's a cool poster. Old Man. What do you guys think about that trailer? It's kind of cool. All right. Let's go on and see what this next story is. It's Headless Horseman. Headless Horseman. Let's check. All right. Let's make sure I pulled up the IMDb for this one ready before we get into this trailer for Headless Horseman. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow meets Ghost Rider this Halloween. Ghost Rider. Okay, so now this one's looks like it perhaps be on that cheesy side of horror, but that's okay. What do we got here? Oh, definitely Ghost Rider. I don't know what to expect from this one, guys. Maybe it'll be a little bit cheesy, maybe just a little bit, but perhaps. Well, let's give it a shot. Headless Horseman official trailer. Let's take a look.
Angel, just let me pay you back.
That was Jose. You think you found your girl?
I have to go into work tonight.
Hard day at work, Sophia? Angel's been looking for you for months.
Oh, he works
Production
for
values
Angel.
look okay.
Your ex?
I don't get it. What she sees in you.
Go, Flex!
Who are you? Help has arrived. Sophia, have taken
Okay.
her, and you want her back.
Yes.
I will give you the tools, and you will do the dirty work. You kill them.
What's that? He's got like a
claim that.
predator kind of claw, right?
You need to
We're gonna
refuel.
take a
I'll
look at
have
that.
to eat blood.
Yeah, what was that? Like a Wolverine claw style. Huh.
Human blood.
That kid, he's alive, but he's not normal. He sold his soul to the devil. And he's coming to kick our
Oh,
ass.
okay. So it's got some questionable visual effects. Oh, mercy. Yeah.
And he's coming to kick our ass.
Okay.
Brandon's not
This
going to let you
Halloween?
send me to Mexico. If he's alive, he'll look for me.
I'm counting on it.
No
You will
horseman.
be unstoppable.
He is back.
The girl got away. Find her!
Sorry.
Looks like it's going to be gory.
You
though.
will
There's gonna
be
some
the
kills in this.
instrument of the vengeance you desire.
Headless Horseman.
Give in to your rage. Give in to your anger.
No, wait, no.
Fatality. Okay. All right. Huh. Huh. Headless Horseman. Let's take a look at the IMDb here, guys. Does that pique your interest? 2022. Very Ghost Rider-ish. It sounds okay. So this feels like it was meant to be a Ghost Rider take, but then they couldn't get the rights, perhaps. But they wanted to make it, and they shoehorned the Headless Horseman into it. Like it started off like the acting and the shooting of it, like the cinematography looked actually pretty decent. But then when they got into the visual effects, it was kind of like no. Any actors in here? Sean Whalen is the only one that kind of jumped out at me as somebody who I recognized. Sean Whalen, what was he in? Okay, he was in Twister, Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game. He's been like in a lot of stuff. You'd recognize him. Charlie's Angels. Yeah, I recognize him. I just can't place it. Okay, so that's Twister. That's who he was in Twister. Okay. Headless Horseman. What do you guys think? Yeah, it looks goofy, A. Weaver says. Okay, so this is not the Disney Headless Horseman. No, it's not. But it does look like it was going to be gory with some kills and stuff like that. So, hey, it is what it is. Art Glass Mikey says, old man looks, gives away very little. All is not what it seems in this trailer. The young man looks like Norman Bates. Yeah, perhaps. That's what I was saying about that trailer, Old Man. I have to check that out to see if it's going to be cool. If it's out now, I'll see if I can track it down. All right, guys, Terror Train. Let's keep on with, Terror Train was a movie in the, 80s or something with Jamie Lee Curtis was originally in Terror Train, and it was low-budget fare. I guess people with masks kill people on a train. I haven't actually watched it, so this must have been one of her first films. Terror Train. Cool. I like Jamie Lee Curtis and I like her work, especially at a young age doing this kind of stuff. Cool. So she was always into that kind of stuff. I guess they've remade this, right? Terror Train remake for Tubi. Oh. Well, I didn't mind that. Well, no, the shark movie that they made wasn't all that good, but I kind of enjoyed Tubi's attempt to make the original stuff. Terror Train remake trailer for Tubi premieres in time for Halloween. Oh, it looks like they're going for that clown angle for this, which is, hey, you know what? I just heard that the Terrifier 2 is going to get a re-release in theaters due to demand. That's cool. We'll take a look at the box office numbers for that too. Terrifier 2 is going to get re-released this month. if you missed it, because it was only like a limited release. They didn't have the money to put that out. But Terror Train, a Tubi original remake. The original had Jamie Lee Curtis, so I want to check this out. I do. Did I pull that up? I guess I didn't. I'll have to pull it up here. All right, so I'm going to pull it up on YouTube, and hopefully it doesn't give us a ad. If it does, then I'll have to hit mute on it. But it looks like we're okay. All right, Terror Train, Tubi. Let's go. Oops. There's the audio, guys. It's not much. Like, clowns do scare people, right? So it's an easy cash in, right, for that. An easy scare, perhaps.
I just wanted to welcome you all to my first big party as frat president. Let's make sure we play our parts accordingly.
Easy formula.
Everyone, it's time to get this party started.
Oh my God. It's just a big prank.
Are we having fun yet?
They were waiting.
So it's kind of like The Strangers, but on a train, right? People who wear masks to kill people.
I'm done waiting. This ends now.
Actually, the production values of this don't look all that bad. Terror Train.
Rowdy crowd out there tonight.
Huh. On Tubi. Tubi Original. I'll have to check that out. Only 3,000 views, but whatever. I love the original, and I'm opposed to remakes, but this looks like a fan film. Even on a free platform like Tubi, I'll likely skip it. Now that clown face I do be seeing in my nightmares, maybe. Didn't love the original, but I'll give this a shot. So it's mixed. But yeah, because the clown scares, the clown is it's becoming a trope now for things, right? And as I said, it's kind of like an easy scare. Okay. A Weaver says, I love Terror Train. Good premise, very creepy, plus David Copperfield. Scared me real good as a kid. Okay. So a remake on Tubi. Well, I have access to Tubi if it comes out, perhaps. If it's not too risque, perhaps we can do a watch along. I don't know. We'll have to see. We are coming up to the Halloween season now, because we're October 15th. We're over halfway, guys, so 16 days until Halloween. Terror Train on Tubi. Very interesting. Okay, guys, I got to go through this last one rather quick because I got to get out of here in like 7 to 8 minutes. Beetlejuice 2, backed by original star Gina Davis. So Gina Davis has come out and said that she would be on board for a Beetlejuice 2. And I think I heard somewhere along the lines that Michael Keaton would be on board for a Beetlejuice 2. It's just Alec Baldwin right now because of all that accident on the live set of him accidentally shooting somebody. I don't know if I think he wants to retire after. No, they're going to finish filming that movie, Rust. Alec Baldwin, though, I don't know if they'll be able to get him back. But she says, I want to play every character I've ever played again. So I think that, Beetlejuice 2 is currently in the hands of Brad Pitt's company. If you get Gina Davis and you get Michael Keaton back and you get Tim Burton back, then I could see that perhaps happening. But it's a little late in the game. It's really late. But Top Gun Maverick just proved no matter how long you wait, as long as the story is good, then it can work. Do people want to see that? I would be up for that because you could still bring back like Winona Ryder too, perhaps. Yeah, I could see something like that, a Beetlejuice 2. What do you guys think about that? Do you want to see that? All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up by giving congratulations to Smile. Smile came out 2 weeks ago, right? And Smile passed the $100 million mark at the box office worldwide. And kudos, congratulations, man, because I like Smile. I like Smile quite a bit. Sosie Bacon says that she had an article up this week up on Variety where she talked about her experiences with Smile. And she talked about people like, how effective that creepy smile was because people associate it with something positive. But the one thing I want to pull for you guys that perhaps you may have missed is that she talked about her parents, right? Sosie Bacon is the lead character in this movie, and her parents are Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick, well-established actors. Yeah. So she said what her parents thought about it. And what did Kevin Bacon think about this? What did your parents think of this movie? She said, they hated it. They think I'm terrible. I'm just kidding. They loved it. They're very proud. They think it's very disturbing, though, to watch. And it is, because smiles are supposed to be nice things. And when you turn it around and make it like a horror smile, guys, right now, out of the things in the theater, if you got the choice between Halloween Ends and Smile, I'm telling you to go to see Smile every day of the week. Because Halloween had jump scares. It wasn't really all that scary. That's all it had, jump scares. But Smile, it did have a few jump scares, but it also had that psychological angle to it where it's kind of like, ooh, that's creepy. Ooh, that's creepy. And then it sits with you. It sits with you because it does get gory. Smile does get gory. Not quite as gory as Hellraiser, but it, like the kills and stuff like that, it does get creepy. It's creepy. It's eerie. And Smile making $100 million at the box office for sure is kudos in my book. Kudos. All right. I think that's all we got for today, guys. Yeah, 11:56. I got to get out of here. Later on today, I will be publishing my Midnight Club episode 3 reaction. It's only going to be like a minute and a half long. It's really not that long. That's how that series is going to work for me. And then later on, another Cenobite clip. Tomorrow, I think I'll have episode 4 of Midnight Club out. And then this week, guys, we're going to be looking for something to do on Thursdays and Fridays. So give me some ideas. Perhaps we'll watch a horror movie or something like that. All right. Thank you very much. A Weaver says, the guy in the Headless Horseman IMDb'd was the people under the stairs who had no tongue. Oh, okay. So that guy was. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. And A Weaver says the killers wear various disguises in the original. I hope it's not a clown mask in the remake. Well, we saw that it was a clown mask, but perhaps you're right. Maybe they could wear different masks. 16 Days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Didn't know that. All right, guys. I got to get out of here at noon. Thank you very much for joining me on the Horror Weekly Roundup. Join the playlist if you don't want to see a normal movie news throughout the week. It's up in the cards. Leave your comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If not, looking forward to videos on the Midnight Club. I'll have the third one up later on this afternoon. I should. And then tomorrow I'll have episode 4. It's just, I got a lot on the table right now. It takes a lot of time to get these videos out, too, sometimes. It's just... hey, I got to have some time for myself too. Anyway, guys, enjoy your weekend. If not, I'll see you on Monday for more movie news here on Mirror Domains.